you can
Please do.
realize, okay, yeah, let me go ahead and get that pulled up here. But I think that this will we'll play a short part because I want people to be aware. The Kinsey report is something that you'll get a taste of what I guess, what I'm talking about here in this short part. But basically, almost every college uses a Kinsey report. A lot of sex education uses the Kinsey report for their facts and stuff on this. But after you see this, you will really start to see what we're talking about here. This is the kind of stuff, and it's just keep in mind, if you have a child, have them leave the room for a minute when we watch this. There's nothing like graphic as far as pictures, but what they're talking about, it's a news report, and it's pieces from it. It's pretty graphic. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going, guys, and I'm going to play it real quick, and then we'll get back to the interview. But I want you guys to see this because I think that without knowing who Kinsey is, you guys really need to be aware that this is the kind of stuff that they're teaching your children in school through sex education and stuff along those lines. So let me get this going for you.
People are gay or some other sex-related statistic that seems extraordinary and you're incredulous. Well, actually, there's a reason to be. Because maybe most of this information comes from something called the Kinsey Report, an iconic study of sexual behavior. But Dr. Judith Reisman, an expert in the field, says this is severely misplaced. She joins me now from Washington, D.C. Welcome to you, Doctor.
Thank you. It's a delight to be back here with you again, Michael.
Thank you. Now, tell us about the Kinsey Report, because there was a movie about Kinsey with Liam Neeson, and Liam Neeson only plays really great guys, so it had to all be true, surely.
Yes, of course. He's the hero of heroes. I know, Schindler's List and all that. Yeah, it's very tragic that he played this man. Dr. Alfred Kinsey was indeed a homosexist. That is, he believed in the superiority of homosexuality or bisexuality, however you want to put it. He was a sadomasochistic psychopath, and this is all documented. No surprise, of course, a pornography addict, naturally. So no surprise, indeed, that he concocted a body of research he called research, which claimed that 10 to 37% of the population was homosexual, that sexual acts with children are perfectly harmless, that all infants can have orgasms and that sort of thing, and created what we now call the sexual revolution or sexual anarchy. Remember, this was 1948, so it was just barely out of World War II, so there simply wasn't the kind of opposition to these lies that would have been expected at all. And they became the dogma for all human sexuality education, and we now see it in all our laws across every aspect of the Western world, or Judeo-Christian or English-speaking world.
Mm-hmm. Entire government policies in the Western world in particular have been created around this.
Absolutely. You were just speaking a few moments ago about I just caught the end of it, but certainly I've been following the UNESCO policies and Planned Parenthood, International Planned Parenthood Federation, and that sort of thing, and our recent injections, not inoculations, of little children for Hep B was before, but HPV now. All of this comes back to the notion that we are all sexual from birth, and Kinsey created that notion, and now we have the pedophile information exchange moving into what's called the minor attracted children, minor attracted persons efforts to destigmatize all pedophilia.
But I want to make this point quite clear, though. I work with a number of people who are gay, know many people who are gay, that they will be appalled by any victimization of children. They have no agenda. They simply want to be respected, and they deserve respect. There's a difference between being gay and having a radical sexual agenda, isn't there?
Well, of course there's a difference. The big problem is that we're not finding the homosexual movement speaking out on this. And I keep waiting for a march like the Gay Rights March. I keep waiting for a march of homosexuals who challenge the pedophile movement, which is absolutely encroaching and moving in on every aspect of homosexual demands, if you will, in the classrooms and so forth. No, this is a real problem, and it's a problem that should be addressed by the homosexual movement, and it's not being addressed at this point at all. What we're looking at is a massive takeover by the pedophile world, and that is dominated even by people who've been advising the Catholic Church. Dr. Fred Berlin, who was advisor to the Catholic Church on pedophilia, just was the keynote speaker at the conference I attended on minor attracted persons, the effort to destigmatize all aspects of pedophilia and make it a legitimate, sexual orientation, indeed, is what was defined at that conference.
No, but this man is still advising the Roman Catholic Church?
As far as I know, he is. I have read nothing that suggests that he's been removed, and certainly nothing suggesting that he was removed because of his promotion of these policies from the very beginning in his clinic at Johns Hopkins, which was founded by Dr. John Money, who advocates for an end of age of consent, advocated for an end of age of consent from the university at Johns Hopkins, and advocated for even kind of what you'd call the rough sex defense if a boy and a man actually, one of them died as a result of what he called a sadomasochistic ritual. This is insane. This whole thing is insane. And these were the big advisors, yes, to the Catholic Church for many years. And Money is dead, but as far as I know, Dr. Berlin still advises.
This is staggering because, again, most people, Canada, the United States, are reasonable, decent, kind people. They simply want to coexist. They may have certain issues with people of a different sexuality, but live and let live. But this is radically different. Let's talk about Kinsey a little more, because, again, there's other people quote Kinsey very often, but he's thought to be this great iconic father figure of sexual liberation. You're saying that children were raped in his clinic and he was fully aware of it?
Oh, absolutely, yes. This is the most amazing violation of scientific, it's worse than Guatemala. We have a 2-month-old baby identified in Kinsey's own book. I've written several books about this. It's not as though the scientific community is uninformed. It is, however, that they are protecting their turf. They've been quoting him for so long. A 2-month-old baby being tested, quote unquote, for orgasm. A 4-year-old boy having allegedly 26 orgasms in 24 hours. I mean, that's an around-the-clock experiment. Stopwatch is used to record these things. Working with a Nazi pedophile in Germany. I mean, this is outrageous. And I have been unable to break through the control of the scientific world, which shocked me, I must say, in the beginning, because there's so much connected. There is so much money associated and so many prestigious names associated with Kinsey, so much so that